It's very possible that Sergeant Shriver may have helped more people in the 20th century than anyone who wasn't a president, politician, or Martin Luther King. Shriver was the first person that was ever given the sole responsibility and primary role of fighting the war on poverty, and his success with such is still considered an overachievement by many to this day. Because of how much change that took place in America and all over the world as a result of Shriver's initiatives, it's almost impossible to view Sergeant Shriver not as an inspirational leader. Sergeant Shriver has had a history that clearly fits the criteria for an inspirational leader that has advocated for change. This history includes initiative, strong passion for the less fortunate, and overcoming of hardship. Sergeant Shriver was the main proponent for a number of new programs in the 60s that were focused primarily on the disadvantaged. Programs that were unique and being introduced for the first time. Shriver proposed 9 initiatives, all geared towards aiding the poor, such as legal services for the poor, Head Start for the poor, community action for the poor, etc. The fact that all of them are still in effect today speaks volumes about how great of a change Shriver initiated. Because Shriver's intense focus on aiding the less fortunate, President Kennedy signed an executive order creating the Peace Corps, the largest known organization for those aiding less fortunate across the world, and he asked Shriver to serve as its first director. This clearly demonstrates Shriver's pre-qualification as a leader, considering he himself didn't think he was qualified for such a position at that time. He played a major role in founding the Special Olympics with his wife, which has been one of the strongest motivations for those who are mentally disabled or physically disabled across the entire world to be able to experience fulfillment and achievement in their lives. A number of psychological data has been collected that further proves how strong of an effect the Special Olympics have had on those who are less fortunate, and how it turns out to better motivate them for the rest of their life. He was also diagnosed with Alzheimer's in his later years, and continued to push towards the bettering of lives of others as best he could despite his hardship. Those who were around him during his final years of Alzheimer's still described him as inspirational despite his short-term memory difficulties. When you take a good look at the individual that Shriver was, it's hard to not see an almost perfect picture of a leader with a passion that will never die despite hardships that may arise. Knowing that Shriver played such an imperative role in our world aiding the poor, it's unfortunate to know that many children are brought up in today's schools without even being taught who he was. That being said, I believe the least we can all do is remember Sergeant Shriver for the effect he has had and will have on our world's history for many years to come.